What's the proper spacing for plants in a vegetable garden? That's the perennial question every gardener faces. If you plant them too far from one another, you end up wasting a lot of potential growing space. On the other hand, if you plant them too close, you risk having smaller plants competing for light, water, and food. How can we maximize our food production in a small plot, minimizing effort while maximizing yield? I'm Siloe Oliveira, and I'm discovering and sharing ways to produce more of my own food in my suburban homestead. It is mid-spring, and the threat of a late frost is now gone. The seedlings that I have started indoors have since grown to their limit. It is time to plant them outside. You have watched me previously building a hugelkultur bed and fertilizing it, getting it ready for planting. But before I can plant these seedlings outside, I need to harden them off to outside weather conditions. Let's just say they've been pampered a bit till now, with mild, stable temperature and moisture, and only a touch of light. They need to get accustomed with the vagaries of outside weather.
Those tomatoes think they're of a distinguished breeding when they're nothing more than New World emergent.
Oh, they certainly don't show the class our Brassica family exudes.
Yes, certainly. Oh, there's that gardener. I'm thirsty already. I hope this time he brings me French bottled water. In glass, obviously. Wait, where are you taking me? I order you to stop this nonsense now. You can't just leave me here like that. Where are my servants? I'm feeling a bit chilly here.
Start by taking your seedlings outside during the day and bringing them in at night. Leave them in a spot that doesn't have direct sun. After a few days, you don't have to bring them in anymore. Remember to water them daily as needed. You should harden them for at least 2 weeks. This method of raising seedlings indoors gives you a jump start in the season, producing food faster. It also makes slug damage in early spring less of a problem, since the seedlings are bigger and stronger when they go into the ground. Because I want to maximize my food production, I want to plant the seedlings as close as possible without disadvantaging them. Although there are guidelines as to the spacing of each plant from one another in the back of seed packets, they were formulated with a conventional row planting scheme in mind. This method of planting tends to space plants too far apart, leaving a lot of exposed ground with the intention of giving as much light and nutrients to your plants. Constant watering, weeding, and disease control are unavoidable consequences of it. I prefer to plant in wide beds or groupings so that these guidelines don't really apply. There are pros and cons with plant spacing. The farther away you place plants, the less likely you are of getting fungal diseases because there is better airflow around them. Your plants should have less competition of water, light, and fertilizer. However, you also leave more exposed ground, leading to soil compaction from rain and diminishing the water absorption quality of the soil, as it creates a hard crust that is impermeable. Weeds grow rampant in an effort to cover the exposed soil, since nature abhors a vacuum. This leads to constant weeding. On the other hand, spacing plants close together uses garden space more efficiently and shades the soil, lessening the emergence of weeds and need of water, preventing soil compaction. It can also increase the likelihood of fungal diseases because of a lack of airflow around the plants, and can yield smaller produce since plants may be fighting for nutrients, water, and light. The solution comes in placing them not too far and not too close, but in a Goldilocks zone that is just right. I am planting tomatoes as a main crop with lettuce, basil, collards, and bok choy as secondary. First, I lay the tomatoes one by one about 1.5 feet from each other in a diagonal pattern. It is advisable to plant tomatoes 3 feet from each other, but I like to err on getting them too close together. Of course, each plant reacts differently. The right spacing for a tomato is different from lettuce. Also, if you garden in an arid zone, you will want to space plants closer together to conserve moisture. Once I have laid the tomato plants out, I proceed in planting them, digging a hole with a trowel, putting in a bit of balanced organic fertilizer in each hole. This should ensure that the plants get a boost in their growing. Carefully pulling the plant from the cups and gently but firmly mounding the soil around them. Experience is the only manual to know how close to plant things in your garden, but there are rules of thumb. Imagine the mature size of your plant and place your plants about that far from each other. Also, interplant plants that have different time, space, water, light, and nutrient needs, as I am doing, to increase the productivity per square feet. If you want specific guidelines to planting space, check out John Jevons' incredible book, How to Grow More Vegetables, that details planting schemes according to his bio-intensive method. We will explore these topics further in future episodes. After I have spaced and planted the tomatoes, I lay out the lettuce, basil, bok choy, collards evenly around the tomato plant. I continue planting them in the same manner. Some of the cups of lettuce have more than one plant in them. I carefully divide them, disrupting as little of the root ball as possible. Lettuce have branching, shallow roots that can take a little more stress than other plants. After planting them, you should water your garden thoroughly. By properly hardening off your seedlings and by planting them gently using this method, your plants should not experience much shock and should resume their growing as fast as possible. Don't forget to collect the plastic cups to reuse them as many times as you can. Join me next time to explore the benefits of mulching, and don't forget to subscribe to Suburban Homestead.